Hey Internet, Acid Jane here, and welcome to another episode of Love Bites. So in the last episode, we had an encounter with Sabrina where we found out that she had, well, 1, a dagger, and that she was 2, a huntress, or something like that. And we also had an encounter with Victor. We went to work with Victor, and we found out that he was actually sort of a mad scientist who had this secret lab in an abandoned building where he was holding up a chupacabra or something like that. After we left work, we somehow ended up in this dungeon. I'm assuming that this is just some sort of dream or something like that, but I have no idea how we got here, but let's try to figure it out. You feel a slight chill as you try to navigate your way through the dungeon. Looking down, you feel grateful that you've managed to escape with your life when that gelatinous monster engulfed you and consumed your armor. There's a large growl behind you, and a large wolf-like creature pads your way. It licks its lips as it hones in on your scent. You look about for a weapon of any kind, your sword and shield long gone with your armor. Unfortunately, nothing is close at hand, except for a door. It looks sturdy enough that if you put your weight behind it, you should stay safe. As the door closes behind you, you find yourself in a space of pure blackness. You look for the door behind you, but to your chagrin, it has completely disappeared.
What foul spell is this?
You glance for any sort of orientation, but all is complete and utter darkness. You get a slight headache when you look toward the distance, but without any landmarks, it all bleeds into one amorphous Ebon nightmare. You slowly start to walk, though it is disconcerting to have no direction to go to. A slight chill goes down your spine, and you can't help but get the feeling you were being watched. For a moment you thought you heard something behind you, but as you swivel on your heel, you're just confronted with yet more blackness.
Is anyone out there? Hello?
For a moment, you think that all of this must be some horrible dream. You give your head a vigorous shake, but this avails you little but a slight headache, a pain that is becoming a little too common for your taste. You move once more, though without a marker or destination, it feels pointless. Just as you think you might take another short break, you hear a dull laugh coming from the right.
Who's there? Show yourself!
The laugh continues for another few seconds, but there is nothing to see. You edge forward when you feel a slight touch on your left shoulder, as if caressed by a feather.
Ooh, what is that?
You turn around once more, but this time you think you can see a shape within the darkness. Its outline appears to be human, but that is all you see.
Welcome. Who are you?
Why, I'm your host, of course.
Host?
Yes, host. Do you think you could enter my sanctuary without an invitation?
What are you saying? I received no invitation.
Come now, you are starting to try my patience with your unceasing prattle. Please, walk this way.
Is this Damien? I'm not going anywhere until you answer my questions. Good girl, Caitlin.
You come into my home, you make a mess of my things, and then you stand there making demands of me? How rude.
Oh, this is definitely Damien.
Ooh! Back off, shadowy figure.
A wave of panic sweeps over you as the shadow starts to move towards you. Though you can't see its face, anger and menace radiate from it. You have little time before it is upon you. What do? Ooh, attack it, run, ask for mercy. Let's attack it. You clench your fists and move one foot forward in a classic boxer's pose. The shadow stops for a moment as it takes note of your action.
Ooh, whoops, that might have been a bad decision.
Then it sprints ahead and is upon you. You lash out with your fist but meet empty air.
You're going to have to do better than that.
Ooh, I think he's choking us.
Then one of the shadow's hands reaches out and grabs your throat. Your mouth opens as you try to take in air and then see blackness come toward your open orifice.
Ooh, ah, ooh.
Oh. You let out a shout and your eyes open wide. Taking a glance, you see that you are lying on your bed, the blankets drenched with sweat. Nick gives a soft whine and licks your hand as you settle back into bed. I knew it. Okay, so on to Wednesday, and I think we're with Nadia? Yeah, that's right. For your first week of work, you find Nadia isn't a very demanding boss, though an eclectic one. You shake your head, trying to wake up when you feel a soft hand on your shoulder. Everything all right? If the research is boring you.
No, it's not that. I've just not slept well the last couple days. Nothing to get worried about.
If you're sure.
I am. Between these articles and the equipment you had me order, are you getting ready to do another ghost hunting session?
In a way, yes. I'm a little surprised that you figured it out.
When you asked me to find out what I could do on the old Vandermoor place, it couldn't be much else. Going as far back as I could remember, kids would always dare each other to go inside.
Did you?
Me, Brandon, and Sabrina did.
Sabrina? If you didn't know better, you'd swear there was a slightly jealous edge to Nadia's tone. Ooh.
She's my stepsister. Well, Nadia, that actually doesn't matter much.
Are you close? Oh, she seems to know what's up.
We get along pretty good. Anyway, we made a bet with some friends that we could stay in the attic for at least a half hour.
The place where
Old man Vandermoor hung himself.
Such a chipper way to say that, but that's what we're going with. So, what happened?
Well, when Mom and Dad said the place was dangerous, they were right. Not in any spooky sense, but I thought the stairs were going to collapse under our weight.
That is one of the hazards of ghost hunting, one that many people don't realize. You get old abandoned buildings.
I think the worst bit of it was the mold. I swear I was sneezing half the time. Needless to say, we won the bet.
So, what did you win from your bet?
We got the other person's dessert at lunch for a week.
A few minutes of silence fills the air, and you spare a glance down at the newspaper. This is another article with an unexplained death at the estate. If you don't mind assuaging my curiosity, but do you believe in ghosts? Nadia sits down, her chin resting on her hands as she sits across from you.
Yes, no, maybe. Caitlin doesn't seem to believe in ghosts, so I feel like I can't really say yes, but I don't want to say no because, I don't know, that just doesn't seem like a good answer, so we'll go with maybe. I can give you a solid maybe.
A fence straddle then.
There's no solid proof, but a lot of anecdotal ones. And those shows on television, well, they've been shown to make a lot of stuff up.
If they showed the actual hours when nothing happened, well, people might prefer to watch grass grow.
One thing I never understood is that most ghost stories, well, they only go back 100 years or so.
For the sake of argument, let's assume that ghosts are real. They would exist as an entity separate from the body.
I'm with you so far.
In a way, they are made up of energy. The living gets their energy from eating. If you're dead, that isn't exactly an option.
True. Even in the case of possession, it would be your host who would be getting fed.
Exactly. So this implies ghosts must get their energy from somewhere else. What is the biggest factor in ghost stories?
The people scared.
Bingo. Strong emotions, a different energy, as it were. The easiest for them to incite would be fear.
Not to mention it would be boring to be a ghost.
Oh?
Think about it. Most ghost stories tell of them being confined to a certain spot or area. I can't think of a worse sort of prison.
So spooking people
would bring some excitement to their unlife. So if strong emotion is food for a ghost, would love count as well?
If you put hauntings aside, you do have stories where ghosts will show up for a loved one. Nadia seems a bit wistful as she says the last, and she gets a distant look on her face.
Something wrong?
No, just thinking that if I could, even death wouldn't come between me and the one I love.
That is romantic, though bordering a little on the stalkerish.
I guess it does.
So, who is the lucky woman?
There isn't one. Sadly, between my professional life and my hobbies, it makes it hard to be with someone. What about you?
Focused as I was on graduating, I didn't exactly find that special someone. If nothing else, we would have likely split up after college.
True enough, but it can still hurt.
No different than high school. If anything, I found that worse. After all, you're still a teenager, and up to that point, you really weren't exposed to the rest of the world.
Huh, and telling someone it will get better doesn't really help.
Even if it is true. Hey, look at us talking about life and death.
As if we just came out of a trashy romance novel.
One with vampires. There's always got to be vampires. Hopefully the kind that don't sparkle.
They don't. Not unless they've been hitting the glitter a little too heavily.
It would make stalking a victim a little tough.
Please, glitter would be an essential accessory if I went on the prowl.
Rawr! So, would I be on the menu?
Oh my... Caitlin, would you like to be? Oh my goodness, things have heated up in here real quick. I'd rather not be dinner, perhaps. We'll go with Perhaps. Caitlin seems to be really into Nadia. Really into Nadia.
What would you do if I say, perhaps?
She would just blush, I guess.
Speechless? And here I thought you'd like that answer.
Well, it looks like I have a date. If I get bitten by a vampire.
Then I expect to see you in glitter.
I better get back to work. Still, this was an interesting break.
That it was.
You spend most of the day hunting down some ingredients for a recipe from an ancient text. The blood of a virgin proved easy enough to get, but the petals of a red rose proved rather elusive. Okay, whose virgin blood did they use? Anyway, on to the next day. This is Thursday, and I think this is our day with Tyrone. You take a moment and wipe the sweat from your brow. You glance around at the flower bed, smiling with pride that you were almost done. Your assignment for today was to weed and remove the dead plants while school was out for the summer. One thing that aches is the small of your back. You can't recall any time recently when you did more bending and pulling.
Lift with your knees, my ass.
Ahem.
Oh, it's Tyrone! Hello, beautiful. You whirl around at the interruption and you see Tyrone standing behind you, a slight look of embarrassment on his face.
Something the matter?
I just came to say hello, but you seemed a bit pissed. I can leave if you want me to.
Sorry, I just ache in places I didn't know I had.
You want to give us a massage, Tyrone?
I can sympathize. I know that when I started to take basketball seriously, some of the exercises left me wiped out until my body got used to it. He glances at the number of flower beds you've finished. I'm impressed. You've got almost all of them done. Do you do any gardening yourself?
Not really, yes. Do we do any gardening? I don't think so. Let's not lie, we'll just say not really. You shake your head, rising at the same instant to work out the kinks.
Not really, and I can't say that today's work has sparked any interest in me.
I can relate to some extent. Basketball became a lot less fun when it became more of a job. You glance at your hand and wrinkle your nose as you notice how much dirt accumulated underneath your fingernails.
Then you wouldn't like it when you crawl out of your grave?
Who said that? Was that us? Was that you, Tyrone?
Pardon me, did you say something?
Tyrone looks on with a bit of concern and then shrugs. Oh, I was just saying that if your back continues to bother you, I do have a couple of things that might help. Liniment, a massage. Oh yes, a massage, please.
Massage? So you didn't say anything about Wait, a massage?
You notice Tyrone blush once more, and a stray thought occurs to you that if he keeps going at this rate, he might fall over from a lack of blood. Still, better than someone suffering a nosebleed like in those anime films. Tyrone lifts a hand to the back of his head and he shrugs. Guess I'm just sticking my foot in my mouth today.
If I didn't know better, I'd think you liked me somehow. I mean, he did tell you that, Caitlin.
At the bar, remember?
Yeah, I sort of do.
Really?
Probably from the first time we met. This was back when I was taking basic chemistry, to satisfy the university science requirement. I was having a tough time, but one tutor helped me out a lot. You.
Me? Maybe I did. To be honest, there were so many students, they all start to blur together.
Oh, Caitlin, don't say that. I figured that was the case. Still, you helped me pass with a C. It kept me on the team and made my parents happy.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. It's nice to know that I was able to help. You wouldn't believe me how many students basically wanted me to do their homework for them.
I'm surprised someone didn't ask you to take a test or two for them.
Not for lack of trying. I think the largest bribe was around $500.
Really?
I'm not making this up.
Did you ever consider it?
Of course not. It would also be my luck that they would try to pass off some counterfeited currency at that.
This student, he wouldn't have been someone named Peter Lynn?
Actually, that's the one. You know him?
You could say that. He was in danger of losing his starting position on the team, so he gave a little something to the person set to take his place.
Oh dear.
At least he isn't here to cause more trouble.
That's good to hear. As enjoyable as this conversation has been, I really need to get back to work.
Oh, sorry if I took up too much of your time.
Not a problem.
Caitlin! Say.
Yes?
Would you?
Are you trying to ask me out?
Sort of. Not really, just that, well, I normally don't have a problem talking to girls, but with you...
You find me intimidating?
There is an air about you that, well, I don't know how to put it, but it gives me pause.
Well, I promise you I don't bite. Well, not much.
Oh, Caitlin, you coy bitch.
You give a slight laugh, letting Tyrone know that you are simply joking around.
So, if we were to go out, what did you have in mind?
Well, that would be up to you. I mean, we could go out for a meal, just hang around, whatever. Oh, do something exciting. Hanging out sounds fun. I could take you to dinner. I feel like we should not do something exciting because we really need to throw him a bone. He's very shy, so let's pick something a little easy for him, perhaps. Let's go ahead and take him to dinner. Why not? It's the modern age.
Some might consider it boring, but I could take you out to dinner.
Sounds good. There is a place.
If we go, as this is still hypothetical since I asked you out, it would be my choice.
I have to say, it feels different being the one asked out. Nice, but different.
Listen, I really need to get back to work. Talk with you later?
Certainly. Not sure what to make of that. You were directed to cleanse several rooms today, but much to your surprise, this required the burning of sage rather than any soap and water. Little of note happened today except for the customer who ordered a banana split and insisted that hot sauce be included as one of the toppings. Oh, so apparently that's what happened on Friday. So on Saturday and Sunday, you could either relax at home to get a small improvement on energy and stress at no cost, visit a spa, bigger effects but expensive. Starting from week 3, you could also go out on a date or buy a gift for one of the love interests. Both activities have variable costs in terms of money and energy. Well, fuck it. Do we have money? Yeah, we're working 5 days a week, so let's go to the fucking spa. Oh, so now we need to decide what to do on Sunday. So I think that since we went to the spa on Saturday, we will just go ahead and relax on Sunday. So I've been recording for quite a while, so I'm going to go ahead and leave this episode of Love Bites here. I really hope that you enjoyed this video. I'll be sure to upload the next one shortly after this one. Thank you so much for watching, and I will talk to you in another video very soon. Goodbye!